I had to get out of the city. I couldn't think. Felt like I was washed up. Felt like I was finished. Had to come back and just clear my head. After a couple of months of head clearing, it finally occurred to me, well, now you have the time you've always bitched about not having. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know what I did. Yeah, I don't know who I pissed off, and I don't know when I pissed him off. A friend of mine had an older roommate. He lived in the basement of this older roommate's house. He tells me that his older roommate said to him one day, he says, you know, your friend Rick, he's never said anything bad to me, never done anything bad to me, never treated me wrong. I just don't like him. So what am I supposed to do with that, right?
Get a mic in your hands, you're a little smartass, aren't you?
Well, I'm not going to leave you alone.
I wish I could get Walmart to give me the surveillance video of it with sound.
I want you to get mad.
I'm about to walk in front of this car and I see the woman on her phone and I'm like, you have traffic behind you, ma'am. And she says, I don't really care. And I said, yeah, no, it's because you're an inconsiderate
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
I don't see why it's any of your business. Everything's my business.
Oh my God, that crazy loon, Richard Cason.
Let's hear it. How do you feel?
Unpredictable,
what?
ballistic ape crazy. I don't understand it. That was like down crazy lane or something.
It was what?
A mad prophet of the airways.
Richard Cason.
Richard Cason.
Richard Cason.
So ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, put your hands together for your headliner, Richard Cason. Eric Brown, EJ, and Joe Corso, no, for real, keep talking while I untangle my mic here. Or keep clapping, whatever. How you guys doing tonight? Good? You guys seem like you're in a laughing kind of mood, and that helps. I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it here tonight because I live over in Cape Girardeau, and they got this road construction going on before you even hit the bridge. And they got traffic narrowed down to one lane, and so I'm in the one lane of traffic, and they got one of those big orange signs on the side of the road flashing a message that says, don't text and drive, don't text and drive, don't text and drive. And I drove by it and read it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll drink to that. That's a good idea, this no texting and driving concept. But by day, I am a radio DJ, which basically means I show up at the studio at 2 o'clock and I record everything I have to say in about 5 minutes, and then I upload it into the computer amongst all those shitty Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean songs, and I put it on autopilot, and then I spend the next 4 hours watching DVDs of Night Court on my laptop. And I saw your Jason Aldean shirt in the crowd, that's why I tagged that talentless fat face fuck onto that joke. Does anybody remember, I work at this piece of shit station in Stoddard County, Missouri now, but does anyone remember when I was on KGMO or when I was somebody? Fantastic. Great start. Radio DJing used to be the coolest job ever. It used to be cooler than astronaut, cooler than movie star, cooler than softball coach at an all-girls Catholic high school. It used to top them all.
I have to tell you that this man is hunted in the Middle East. He does have a price on his head, so for that reason we can't reveal his name, but he's going to tell us just exactly what's going on in the Middle East and the whole conflict with Iraq and Afghanistan. You ready, man?
About ready. Yeah, I'm about ready to, because I have freedom of speech, my constitutional right. I don't know if this disturbs you or not, but, I don't see where the hell all this Iraq comes from. The real problem is Osama bin Laden. You know who's all behind this, don't you? It's the Russians, man. And, I was reading Playboy, right? And I'm not trying to sound like a perv or nothing, but they do have some pretty interesting articles in there. And it was talking about back in the 80s. Or no, I take that back. And this blew my mind when I read it because, well, hold on, while I think about it, man, I'm going to hit this bowl if you don't mind. You don't mind if I do that?
No, go ahead.
Loyalty is a precious commodity in this business. And I guess it's one that some folks that are a little new to it still haven't got the grasp of. Me, I reached out to some people that I thought genuinely were funny and would appreciate the cash and would appreciate the opportunity. Instead, it's like, hey, thanks for the money, asshole. Does it piss me off a little bit that there's not even a shred of acknowledgement that I was Cape Girardeau's only working comedian for 15 years? Used to upset me a little bit, but you get used to disrespect in this business. So disrespect in comedy is so common that when someone is actually nice and respectful to you, that's what feels weird. Right about here. Is this good? All right. Okay. What do you want to know first? One of the miracles of living right next to a fucking highway. About 3 years ago, I was hosting an open mic night at a bar in Cape Girardeau that's rarely, if ever, open now. But they started doing a comedy open mic, and I volunteered to be the host of it, and I got my $10 and free pizza and soda per show, as per the deal. And I gave a handful of people their first start. But they didn't police the room. They allowed all sorts of noise. They didn't charge a cover. They didn't do any of the shit that could have made a good comedy night. And on this one particular night, this one woman who'd been yapping all night long, we had all told her to shut the fuck up in our own way at various points. I mean, everybody did. Even some of the nerd comics. And I went up there and did my thing and used all my good heckler lines on her, and then finally just got fed up and said, shut the fuck up! Just shut up! Next thing I know, Mike gets potted down, and the guy running the board behind me, he says, that's enough, Rich. And I walked right off stage, walked right out the fucking door. So there was a trio of these people that I gave their start, and next thing you know, they formed a little brain trust, and they slide in behind me and steal my show, because I got suspended for a week. How the fuck do you get suspended from a comedy show? And the whole vibe had changed. Next thing you know, the show's getting covered in the newspaper. Next thing you know, no more show. People quit coming out to it. Because when I was running it, it was worth a damn. And when the kids took over, it became a piece of shit. And that's just a fact. Charge a cover and tell people to shut the fuck up, and you have a good comedy show. I never did anything to anybody. I have always tried to live by treat others as you would like to be treated. Whenever I do that, it bites me in the ass. One of the bitches about this business, it's the people you have to work with who will overpromise and say one thing out of one side of their mouth and then turn right around and they are doing the exact opposite. They badmouth you behind your back to other people, and then that spreads, and then that kind of makes it a little harder for you to try to get in everywhere you go. So a couple of people in the same brain trust, they are in the audio video racket. They had said that they wanted to record my hour for me in front of an audience and wanted to record it and put it together. And I thought, great. A couple of months goes by. They said they had some other shit to work on. A couple of months goes by. And I asked them when they wanted to do that. Oh, in a couple of months, hit us up. And then that became, well, we're not really going to have time for it right now. Meanwhile, they started booking other shows in town with younger talent, a lot of St. Louis talent, which I think may be part of the problem, because I don't know if some St. Louis talent got in their heads or what, but next thing you know, it went from wanting to record my hour to, no, we don't think you have an hour. This guy speaking for the 3 or 4 of them. We don't think you have an hour. What are you, Venom or something? Is it jealousy? No reason to be jealous of me. No reason to be threatened by me. I'm not going to take anyone's spot. I don't think I'm better. I don't think I'm the best. I'm just as good. For some reason, people have a problem with that. I guess because I developed outside their little system. I don't fucking know. I've seen them come, and I've seen them go.
And then I asked, well, maybe to show that I have an hour, you'll let me headline one of the shows you book. I mean, I've thrown you a couple of bones and offered you shows, and, well, we don't think that you would work with our crowd. So at some point, him and the Brain Trust, they soured on me. I didn't throw him under the bus. I did everything I could to put him over. Anytime I brought him up on stage, I gave him as good of a professional intro as I could.
But here's the other thing. While all of that is happening, I'm not supposed to say shit about it. Fuck all that. It's easy to entertain your friends. It's easy to get up in front of your group of friends and talk about the same episode of Stranger Things that you all watched together the night before. What's hard is going into the shitholes that I play. What's hard is going to Eudora, Kansas, or Maryville, Missouri, or Quincy, Illinois. I walk out with my skin intact and a few dollars richer every single night I perform.
Another example? What do you want to hear? About a year ago, see, I've been doing this since I was 18 years old, okay? Yeah, I've been doing stand-up comedy for 22 years, but now that is not to say that I have been good all of those 22 years. I mean, the first time I went on stage, it was a huge kill. I got lucky. Hot crowd, good night. Next time I went up, I didn't do so good. And then after that, I didn't get any laughs for 1,964 consecutive nights. I go into the places that would eat you alive. You made $80,000 selling cell phones this year. Congratulations. $80,000. That's a lot of money. It's more money than I have. More money than I made this year. What? None of it was comedy money? Yeah. I made $12,000. All of it on comedy. Living in that piece of shit right up there. Rest stops. The occasional hotel, but mostly a lawn chair in the bed of that fucking truck. That's comedy. I love how every couple of years there's a new group of 20-somethings that start off in comedy and think they're going to be God's gift to humor while imposing their socialist will on us at the same time. And every time they come up, I always want to say to them, just worry about being funny. Just be funny. That's all you got to do.